The pen held by a senior executive clattered onto the table. Another man's glasses slipped askew, while a third froze completely, his face locked in a look of utter shock. Everyone present was stunned. Xu Ziyi, who had always been cold, aloof and never showed any sign of a smile, actually curved his lips into a faint, fleeting yet breathtakingly beautiful grin. He raised a hand to restrain the female lead NN, who had turned into a cat, lifted her off his shoulder and settled her on his lap. In a tone tinged with mild reproach, yet undisguised indulgence, he murmured enough. "It tickles." A subordinate cautiously asked if they should resume the meeting. Xu Ziyi instantly wiped away his smile, regaining his indifferent expression, and simply gave permission to carry on. Nestled comfortably on his lap, and N swished her tail in satisfaction. A system prompt chimed in, announcing the successful completion of the task and a 10-point increase to her Succubus value. After the meeting, N roamed the huge study in hermit form, treating the place as her exclusive territory. The only forbidden area was a small private compartment that Xu Ziyi always kept tightly locked, where he worked behind closed doors. She nimbly jumped onto the bookshelf and wandered among rows of thick original English books, wondering how Xu Ziyi could possibly finish reading so many volumes. To her surprise, she discovered Gundam models and DVA limited edition merchandise hidden away, realizing the cold and aloof president was secretly an avid anime and mecha fan. She could not help speculating that he might even be developing humanoid mechas in his private chamber. A feasible idea given his intelligence and immense wealth. While she was lost in thought, the study door was suddenly pushed open with a bang. A glamorous and arrogant young woman named Xiao Zixi marched inside, only to lock eyes with NN perched on the bookshelf. The system immediately issued a new quest. The female supporting rival Xiao Zixi had appeared, tasking NN with defending her territory and demonstrating the dominance of the official Succubus mate. Xiao Zixi wrinkled her nose in disgust, complaining about the animal smell and wondering when Xu Ziyi had started keeping a cat. She casually tossed her pink crocodile skin Hermes limited edition handbag with gold hardware onto the carpet, its dazzling luxury making NN squint. Annoyed by her arrogance, NN gracefully jumped down from the bookshelf, walked over to the luxury bag, and began sharpening her claws on it, finding the leather far more satisfying than an ordinary cat scratcher. Xiao Zixi screamed in fury, rushing over to grab her damaged bag. Distraught, she cried that it was one of only 3 globally limited pieces, costing her 3 million in pre-order fees, and shouted angrily at NN before raising her hand to hit her. NN nimbly dodged, leaping between tables, chairs, and bookshelves, meowing provocatively to infuriate her further, pushed to her limit. Xiao Zixi threw random objects and chased NN all over the study, leaving the room in complete chaos. At last, the door to the private compartment opened. Xu Ziyi stepped out with a displeased look, coldly questioning the commotion. Xiao Zixi instantly put on a pitiful, tearful expression, complaining that the cat had ruined her priceless limited edition handbag. Xu Ziyi glanced at NN, who tilted her head innocently on the bookshelf, then took out his checkbook and offered to compensate her. Refusing monetary compensation, Xiao Zixi argued the rare bag could never be replaced. Xu Ziyi remained calm, promising to have his secretary contact Hermes headquarters to make an identical one. Frustrated and humiliated, Xiao Zixi complained that Xu's mother had personally invited her over, yet she was treated so disrespectfully. Upset by his absence at the previous ball and her own unnecessary humiliation, she stormed off in tears, declaring he could spend his life with the cat instead. Silence returned to the study. NN jumped down to Xu Ziyi's feet and meowed softly. He bent to pick her up, gently warning her not to scratch other people's belongings again, his tone devoid of real blame, stroking her head. He smiled faintly, admitting he was actually grateful for her chasing away the troublesome suitor, adding that she could scratch anything she liked, he could easily afford the losses. The system notified her of victory in her first confrontation with the romantic rival, unlocking the exclusive achievement Favor of Wealthy Power and another 10 Succubus value points. As night fell, Anne wandered into the backyard, enjoying the soft lawn and quiet moonlight. She was about to rest when she overheard a quarrel erupting on the second floor. Curious, she climbed the vine to the balcony and peeked through the glass. Juicy's elegantly dressed mother was berating him furiously. She chided him for wasting the perfect chance to align with the powerful Zhao family through marriage, dismissing Anne as a mere pet that made him lose his senses. She insisted the alliance with the Zhao's would greatly boost his chances of inheriting the family corporation. Juicy remained expressionless, loosening his tie and firmly stating he would never rely on a woman to climb the ranks. He would forfeit his inheritance if he could not win it by his own ability. Enraged by his defiance, his mother caught sight of Anne's emerald cat eyes glowing eerily in the night outside the window and shrieked in fright. She blamed the cat for ruining Juicy's poisoned prestige, criticizing him for holding the cat and smiling casually during an online corporate meeting, and accusing him of ignoring gossip among his subordinates. Standing in the shadows, Juicy replied coldly that he would have lost his life without Anne. He pointed out his mother only cared about her own reputation and family interests, never truly worrying about his safety, yet fixating on trivial matters like him keeping a cat. He firmly told her he was old enough to make his own choices and asked her to leave. Livid, his mother slammed the door and departed. Juicy walked out to the balcony, took Anne into his arms, sat down at the desk and stroked her fur gently. The system rewarded her with 10 more Succubus value points for unlocking the achievement Beauty Who Brings Disaster. Explaining the psychological reverse effect, the more his mother opposed Anne, the fonder Juicy grew of her. Just as the system predicted, his mother's interference only deepened his affection for Anne. That night, he let her sleep beside him on the bed instead of sending her away as usual. The system reminded Anne that Juicy was emotionally vulnerable, offering a perfect chance to grow closer. Snuggled in his warm embrace, Anne lay against his toned ABS, amused that she could enjoy such intimate access only as a cat, a privilege denied to her in human form. Anne's elder brother Su Yuncheng Golden was utterly shocked to learn his sister was sharing the bed with the notoriously clean-freak Juicy. Juicy calmly explained Anne was highly intelligent, even able to use a smart toilet and flush by herself. Still unconvinced, Su Yuncheng joked about live streaming the cat's daily routine to become an internet celebrity and make money, an idea Juicy flatly rejected. Anne fumed at her brother's shameless thought of profiting off her privacy. As Juicy stroked her lazily, he fell asleep peacefully to Anne's content purring. The system announced the completion of the shared bed quest, revealing Anne had miraculously cured his years-long severe insomnia, granting her 15 more Succubus value points. With time passing, Anne grew increasingly lazy and forgetful. The system issued a critical warning. Her consciousness was gradually feline-fying. If she failed to finish the strategy quest and max out her Succubus value within 7 days, she would permanently turn into an ordinary cat with no way to revert to human form. Confident in her progress, Anne believed she had plenty of time left. One afternoon, she patrolled her territory and chased a gecko, creeping along the vines until she reached the windowsill of the third-floor study. Through the stained glass window, she finally saw the inside of Juicy's strictly forbidden private chamber. Sunlight streamed through the skylight, illuminating an entire wall covered in paintings. All portraits of her in human form, everyone capturing her bright, radiant smile. In the center stood a cyberpunk mecha design raft in cool black and white, adorned with cute cat-ear antennas on the helmet and gilded words on the shoulder. Human battle mecha model and no one. Frozen in shock, Anne felt a bittersweet flutter in her heart. The cold, reserved Zhu, secretly a mecha and anime enthusiast who had harbored a quiet crush on her for years. Staring at the wall of portraits, she realized her human self had always been his greatest temptation. Eager to revert to human form to confess and tease him about changing the mecha's color scheme to pink, She scrambled down the vines and waited like a loyal stone-cut statue at the manor gate for his return. When the roar of a car engine echoed in the distance, Nen wagged her tail excitedly, ready to greet him. To her disappointment, it was not Zhu Ziyi stepping out of the Rolls-Royce, but his haughty mother. The housekeeper hurried forward to greet her, but Madame Zhu cut him off coldly, stating she had come to take the cat away, claiming to have found its original owner. The housekeeper tried to intervene, reminding her the cat had once saved Zhu Ziyi's life per his orders. Disdainful, Madame Zhu insisted they could not keep someone else's pet by force, using morality and rules as pressure. Nen tried to flee, but her mother's bodyguards quickly trapped her with a cat net and locked her in a dark pet travel crate. Madame Zhu looked down at the struggling cat infuriately, telling her Zhu Ziyi was abroad on a business trip and would not return for at least a week, leaving no one to save her. The system panicked, warning Nen she only had 5 days left before her irreversible feline transformation, still lacking 30 Succubus value points to reach the cap. Madame Zhu admitted she had to give the Zhao family an explanation for Zhao X's complaint, yet had no intention of killing Nen, fearing another long rift with her son. She planned to send Nen to a strict training center to tame her wild nature before giving her away. Nen soon discovered the so-called closed cat training center was actually an inhumane animal concentration camp, housing abandoned cats deemed unwanted by society. The so-called domestication was nothing but cruel declawing and tooth-grinding to strip away all their wild instincts. The caged cats were matted, dull-eyed and listless, waiting hopelessly for their fate. Gradually, Nen lost the ability to understand human speech, only able to sense pain and hunger. Truly sinking into a feline state, she called out desperately to the system, yet received no reply. One day, all the cats in the cage wailed in fear and anger. A gloved staff member dragged Nen out despite her fierce resistance. Dimly, she heard the cold sentence, "It's her turn." Nen was strapped tightly to a cold operating table under blinding surgical lamps. A doctor in a white coat approached with cold forceps and a syringe. Just as the forceps were about to touch her ball, the operating room door was kicked open violently. Zhu Ziyi burst in disheveled and breathless, bloodshot eyes filled with panic. His bodyguards cleared the room instantly, removing all medical staff. Drawn to his familiar scent, Nen was pulled into his tight embrace, trembling slightly. Zhu Ziyi apologized hoarsely for being late, relieved she was safe and unharmed. A hot tear fell onto her nose. The cold and impassive man had shed tears for her. The dormant system reactivated abruptly, detecting the male lead's heartfelt tears breaking the emotional bond threshold. A massive bonus of 50 Succubus value points was awarded, maxing out her gauge and lifting all transformation restrictions instantly. A burst of bright white light shattered the feline constraints, stretching her body back into human form. Weakly, she whispered his name. Zhu Ziyi. Stunned, he stared at the cat in his arms, turning into a stunning beauty, the very woman he had secretly loved and admired for years. His usual icy composure crumbled, his face flushing bright red. He squeezed his eyes shut in panic, hastily taking off his coat to wrap her fully, turning rigidly away with burning red ear tips, muttering in disbelief that he must be dreaming. Wrapped in his warm coat, Nen laughed softly, demanding he repaint the cat-themed mecha pink. Still refusing to turn around, Zhu Ziyi asked shyly if she had seen his hidden paintings of mecha design, wondering if she was some kind of spirit. Nen confessed everything honestly: the system, her Succubus identity, and her accidental transformation into a cat. Zhu Ziyi slowly turned around, his shock melting into deep tenderness. He asked softly if she had willingly become a cat just to make him smile. Embarrassed, Nen changed the subject, insisting they rescue all the abused cats locked in the training center. Agreeing gently, he called her by her pet name Yen, a faint tender smile playing on his lips. They gazed at each other, and Nen eased him for never smiling at her before. Zhu Ziyi explained his mother had forbidden him from smiling since childhood, deeming it naive and easy to bully. leaving him habitually cold and reserved. He promised to smile only for her from then on, then curved his lips into a brilliant, thawing smile full of sincerity. He confessed he had hidden his feelings for fear others would accuse him of using her connection to the Su family for power, insisting his love was pure and genuine. He revealed his mother's attempt to please the Xiao family by sending her away had ultimately failed, as the Xiao clan still voted for his older brother, yet he had secured the inheritance through his own ability. Pulling her closer, he confessed his love at last. Before Annan could retort, he leaned down and kissed her deeply. Their intimate moment was abruptly interrupted as the door crashed open again. Su Yuncheng rushed in with bodyguards. Having tracked Zhu Zi's private helicopter, he froze in shock upon seeing his sister, who was supposed to be relaxing in Bole, wrapped only in Zhu Zi's coat. He questioned Zhu Zi teasingly for supposedly searching for a cat yet ending up with his sister instead. Calmly shielding N behind him, Zhu Zi smiled charmingly, telling his brother Minus and Minus Law he had indeed come for a cat, only to unexpectedly catch an alluring little succubus instead, his tone laced with undisguised indulgence and possessiveness.